Alright guys, this is step 3 and 4 that I had promised of how to fill your raised garden beds for super cheap with awesome organic matter. Step 3, grass clippings. Step 4, shredded leaves. So, as I mentioned in my previous video, I only recommend using grass clippings if you are sure they are chemical free. So no fertilizers, no fungicides, no pesticides, none of that garbage that people unfortunately put on their lawns. We don't do that, so therefore we can use our grass clippings. Went ahead and put a thin layer, probably, that's the wood chips right there, I don't know, probably 1/2 inch-ish. Again, this is all kind of just ish. All you want, guys, is nitrogen from the grass clippings in order to mix with the carbon of both the leaves and the wood chips underneath. When organic matter decomposes, the carbon needs the nitrogen to break down. So it will suck all of the nitrogen from your soil in efforts to break down the carbon within itself, so the wood chips, for instance. If you don't provide it with extra nitrogen, like we are here with the grass clippings, the wood chips are going to suck all the nitrogen from your soil and therefore your plants. So this is kind of a great way to offset it a little bit. It might happen a little bit. You might have to supplement a little bit extra nitrogen as it breaks down underneath your garden plants. But you know, this is kind of to remediate a little bit of that. So as the nitrogen from the green grass clippings mixes with the carbon, and it will break down and compost into an awesome garden bed underneath. So that's the grass clippings. Okay, just green grass clippings, spread them around 1/2 inch-ish, you're good to go. I watered everything down good in between. I should note, in between all the layers, I gave it all a good watering so that it kind of has a good kickstart. Compost also needs moisture in order to thrive, and it's a living organism. So in order for living organisms, they need food and, water. So in this case, it's nitrogen and carbon combination, and then also water. Then I went ahead and I just ran over some leaves with my lawnmower like a bajillion times. That's the totally scientific ratio, a bajillion times. Basically, you just want to break it down as much as you can. I mean, you could throw leaves in like this if you wanted to just rake them up. But if you have a mower, even if it's a push mower, run over your leaves a few times and have your mower break it down a little bit for you. It will compost down and break down exponentially faster if you do a little bit of the mechanical breakdown for it. So the smaller pieces, the quicker it will break down. And that's kind of what we're after here. So that's what we have. We have grass clippings obviously mixed in here a little bit, but not a big deal. Just wanted to add a little bit more of the carbon from the, leaf matter. And again, I'm also picking up my yard. I'm picking up some leaves. So it's a 2 for 1. Here I have a whole cart full of leaves. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish doing this other half right here. And I just go along, and it really is not, it's really not a rocket science. It's just, don't stress out about it. Just kind of a little bit here and there, okay? This is great for your kids to help. If you can get your kids to help you, power to you. Mine seem to really not do great in that category, but we'll laugh. So just go ahead and, it's a beautiful day, family out, have them help you, or not, which is what I'm doing. But we're just doing an even layer, and I don't know, I'd say probably 3 inches. I have so many leaves, and obviously have more leaves than I'm ever going to be able to use. So I'll just stick them all in a pile in the back and let them decompose down into more compost. All right, you get the hint, right? You don't need to show you how to do all this. But all I'm doing is spread another layer. And when you get done, the second layer, or I guess this is technically like the 4th, you want to just, same thing as the other ones, just kind of go back and shift it around a little bit and give it a pat. And there you go. You can see we are literally almost halfway full now with free organic matter. That is the middle board, halfway full. Okay, so at this point I'm going to want to start filling this with actual topsoil and different amendments, soil amendments that will immediately be able to grow my plants. What I want to do now, after I get my leaf mulch down, is I'm going to take some cardboard that I've recycled and I've saved. And I'm going to take the cardboard, I'm going to wet it down, I'm going to poke some holes in it with my pitchfork, and then I'm going to put the layer of cardboard on top of here. That's going to help stop all of the dirt from settling down into the grass and kind of give you a temporary floor, if you will, of your top garden bed layer. That will break down so fast. It will be food for the earthworms. It actually really encourages the earthworms to come up because they love that papery cardboard material. And then you fill it up with topsoil, compost, vermiculite, perlite, and peat moss. And I will show you that in the next video after I've done the cardboard here. It's hard to do this with one hand, obviously. So I'll go ahead and do that in a third video, and that will be the last kind of set of video series, if you will, for the steps. So to recap so far, we have a layer of logs underneath, then wood chips, then grass clippings, then shredded leaves. Now we're going to go ahead, get the cardboard here that I had laid out, recycled. Like, all this is being recycled. All of this is free. All of this will break down into amazing dirt for my plants. And it's reusing landfill stuff. I don't see a negative to this at all. Like, this is the way to go. So one word of caution about the cardboard: please make sure it's not printed. Like, this is fine if you have an Amazon obsession like me. This is fine, but if it has like any colored print, you don't want it. So any of this brown, mostly brown paper cardboard would be great. And you just don't want to have all of the chemicals that are printed from the inks seep into your soil. It's just, if you can choose to avoid that, I would obviously do so. If you don't have the option, then you can also do newspaper. Newspaper would be great. Brown paper grocery bags would also be another great option. Go with Publix, and if you have a Publix near you or a grocery store that offers brown paper bags, next time you go, ask for paper, and there you go. Now you have garden materials. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish leveling out these leaves on top of the grass clippings here, and then I will put the cardboard down, and I will show you guys the next and final steps and how to fill it with the combination of, like I said, compost, peat moss, vermiculite, perlite, and maybe topsoil. I don't even know if I'm gonna put topsoil in there. Probably a little bit. All right, I'll be back in just a bit.